There's a hornet nest where?
Ah! There's no freeloaders. You gotta pay to ride.
See where it broke the bolts off down here?
It was not my fault, Miss Angela.
I bent down, he was totally fine. The next thing I knew, I was 6 feet away.
Just got kicked.
We are now in October, so fall is here, I guess. I was gonna say it's right around the corner, but there's a lot of changes in the weather and the leaves are falling. We had a lot of great adoptions and transfers last month. I think Mary finding a home is probably my favorite because she came with such problems and we did so many operations and trying to get her fixed, and then for her to find a home is great. So we're gonna be taking all these guys down, and hopefully a bunch from that wall will end up over here this month. And we also have something a little exciting over here. So this company donated an automatic feeder to us, and we're gonna put this in our vet barn. And they reached out to us, and I did some research and I was like, that is really cool. So they donated this, and it has a timer, so you can just fill it up with food, and then I guess that will churn down there and just a certain amount of food will come out. So Keith is gonna go install it, and we're gonna put it in the vet barn. I'm excited about this. It's a great donation, and definitely check out their website, check out their products, and we will give it a good whirl and see how we like it. I like it has a little window so you can see if the food is there. So, pretty cool. All right, Keith, I'm gonna turn this over to you.
Thank you.
And we just need to make sure it mounts on the outside of the stall and it goes in. We might have to get some other parts to make it work for us.
I'll figure it out.
And that's gonna be awesome. Automatic feeding. We have automatic waters, now we got an automatic feeder. Pretty cool.
Got it hung. Now I gotta get the elbow, which is in the box, attach it, and then I've gotta attach a metal tray that I've got to make up. So that the feed goes through here into the bucket. It's counting. I didn't do it. I did not do that.
That was my fault.
Got it all set up right now for feeding. All they gotta do is put the feed in and set the timer, see if it works.
Me and Keith are dragging all of the stall mats out of the treatment room in the vet barn, and we're going to clean those off. Then we're going to clean and scrub the floor in here in the vet barn, let that dry, and then we're going to bring all the mats back in so that it can get sealed up so that the water doesn't leak anywhere else.
Unbolting this so we can move it, so that we can move the mats and clean up underneath the mats, and then bring the mats back in and put everything back together, and then seal all the cracks and stuff so that we don't have to pull up the mats again.
So we have adopters here that are interested in Freckles. I'm going to get him and bring him up here for them to meet.
What do you think? Yes? Okay. Well, I think she's made up her mind.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but mostly she made up her mind.
Okay, all right, perfect.
You guys are now the proud owners of Freckles.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just got done spraying off some of the mats in the stall. Once they're dry, I'm gonna load them back up on the pallet, put them back in the barn, and then pull up the rest of the mats and bring them out.
What are you doing, Tom?
I'm passing out candy to our outside people first. If I'm here, there will always be a stock of candy, always. So now I'm gonna go see if everybody inside wants some.
Ladies. Yes, ma'am. So what was your, oh wow.
So I've passed out all my candy. The leftovers are here on the break table so that they can come and take as they please.
It is volunteer day today, and we have a few different projects for our volunteers today. One is to paint our nice pole here for our bell. We have a bell now, adopters ring when they adopt. So we're gonna paint that black, and then we have our draft stalks, which we are gonna paint black. We'll be doing some cleaning. They'll get to have some fun with the animals, and then we'll call it a day.
Her name is Goldie.
Hi, Goldie.
She's a little more wily.
Larry.
But that's actually what you guys are painting right now. What you guys are painting is used to get horses, like draft horses, to pick up their feet and to trim their feet.
There's a hornet nest where?
I was scrubbing it, and then the carpet came up, and the hornet came. I was like, nope.
Okay. Okay.
Wait. I know.
Well, I'm glad I was away from it because I would have been the one that got bit. We are trying to kill wasps that we found in the carpet. They must have made some kind of nest. And so thankfully nobody got injured. And we also had to deal with the ants nest, which I stepped in. It's been a day. We were dealing with all type of creatures. But I think we're having fun, right guys? All right, so we're having fun. We are getting whooped by bugs. Yes. We are losing the battle to bugs, but we're having fun. And the wind is blowing, so.
We're putting mats back in. We've got it all cleaned up underneath and sanitized. Now we're piecing the puzzle back together. And it came out easier than it's going in. With all the volunteers' help, everything went quickly, smoothly, so. But it is done now. All the mats are back in. Now we just got to kind of sweep it off, and I'll start sealing the seams up. That's the next project. Off and going.
We just finished with the dogs. We were able to walk them. We were able to feed them, fill their water bowls, and clean out the barn a little bit. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna play with some horses. One of our favorite horses, or I should say small horses that we love to play with, is Cowboy. We're gonna groom him and get him all cleaned up. So basically that's what we're about to do. All right, so this ends our day today. Had some fun. We got to paint. We got to play with some puppies. We also got to groom Cowboy and hang out with the horses for a while. And some of the guys even had to use their muscles and unload some feed and cedar chips. And this was a fun-filled day.
So this is actually Goldie's first time in the arena where we got the obstacle course. And if you can see, she's actually doing pretty good. She's a smart horse. I think she knows some things, but I think she got traumatized whenever that happened to her there on her leg, and it made her get to the point where she was just soured up from people. She had that cut and people kept trying to chase her and get her, and she got traumatized with people that way. But either way, she did not like people when she first got here, but she is making great progress.
Well, the boat's broke at the bottom of the tie rod here that holds the wheel on.
Oh.
And we are leaking fluid, and we are going to have to disassemble this and put new bolts in it.
Wonderful.
So we broke it again. See where it broke the bolts off down here? It was not my fault, Miss Angela.
Listen, I ain't buying that stuff today. What happened? Watch out, Troy. Watch out. I'm sorry.
You look over this way, young lady. 2 of these bolts have sheared off, and it is the axle is separating and the bearings are separating. So
We're about to lose a tire.
We're about to lose this whole shaft and tire.
Oh my goodness. And what's this?
That, yeah, that's supposed to be there.
Okay.
So we're just going to try and limp it up to the workshop, and ain't gonna make it.
Don't limp it.
No.
Ain't gonna make it. So we're gonna work on it right here.
All right, so how long are we looking at tire being out of commission?
So they're discussing on how to fix the tractor, and yeah, good luck to them.
Right now I'm about to get started on inventory for the vet barn, keeping count on what vaccines and medicines we do and don't have, just so that when we get our new vet, they know already what we have and can go from there on what they do or don't need. So that'll take me probably about the rest of this week and a little bit of next week.
Well, tomorrow is a coworker's birthday, so we're celebrating it today, and she loves horses, and so I made her into this nice veggie tray.
And it is so cute. Yesterday, Dawn's like, I can make this. And I was like, yeah, that's really cute. And I was like, I didn't expect it to look exactly like the picture. So that is so awesome. She's gonna love that. That is like the cutest little.
And both dips are vegan dips.
Yes, Kimberly is vegan, so she'll be very happy. That is so cute. It might be a mule as long as its ears are.
Thanks, Tawnee.
Oh, you did do it. Go, little booger. It's amazing. So sweet. So she showed me a picture on her phone, and I was like, there's no way you can do that. She proved me wrong. I'm really impressed. Welcome.
Come on in.
Surprise! Happy birthday.
It's a celery horse.
It is a celery horse. And that's just a red pepper hummus.
It's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Got the new bolts. We've got it put back together. We've re-greased the whole tractor. So now we are putting in our gear oil, and we're gonna see if it fixed it. Hopefully it did, and we can get back to work.
If it didn't, we gotta take all them bolts back out. And
Faye's gotta take all the bolts out. We done it the first time.
Walk away, I'll hold the camera for you.
Alrighty, we have got the tractor back together, and we're fixing to fire it up and make sure ain't nothing leaking when we turn it while it's under pressure. And if everything goes good, we're gonna go move some more hay racks.
So I am transferring a few horses to Darlin Farms Rescue and Rehab. They are over in East Tennessee, I believe just north of Winchester. And we are transferring Goldie, Dennis, amethyst and hickory. So I'm going to be loading them up in the trailer, and I'll be taking them home tonight, and then I'll be transferring them to their other organization tomorrow. I'm pretty good at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah! What are you doing? There's no freeloaders. You gotta pay to ride. Ridiculous. That's a good sized web too, look at that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up and then drive off, and hopefully me turning will get rid of this spider, because I don't like spiders.
Aren't you glad I warned you?
Yeah, thank you, because I would have walked right through that. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Freeloader. So I do have to split them up a little bit. Amethyst does try to kick at other horses sometimes if they're in close quarters with her. So I'm gonna put her up front all by herself. And then the other three I'll just have in the back of the trailer riding free. All right, so I've got them all loaded up. I decided to put Amethyst on the back because she was sticking on the other horses, but they should ride just fine like this. I just got to throw my locks on and I'm ready to go.
This morning we got all the mats in yesterday, so today I'm going along and I'm going to start sealing all the mats together, all the nicks and crevices and everything. I've got a rubberized sealant here that we were going to be using to seal all of the cracks and crevices so that we don't have to take the mats back out ever again.
All right, so we are making our way up to quarantine. We're gonna do some x-rays and just take a look over some of the horses that we didn't get a chance to fully take a look at while we were intaking the 57 animals that we got from our auction buyout. So we're on our way up there right now just to give them a once over and send the info over to Dr. Lydia. So this is Galahad. He is roughly 25 years old. He is a Tennessee walking horse. And we've got him in today just to take a peek at his whole body to see if there's anything going on and what we could do further from that.
So from everything we can gather with this horse, he was a big lick horse for a number of years. Wouldn't surprise me if they took him to the auction because they didn't think we were gonna be there, because he's got some of the most significant old scars that I've seen. Dr. Lydia has taken one look at him, but we're gonna be doing thorough x-rays. His teeth are our biggest concern at this point, and that he's at the age he is and being a stallion. Putting a horse through a surgery like that at his age could be really bad for him, especially when he's already struggling with his weight. He's got all of his x-rays done and we'll be ready to do the next horse. So, good boy. You're such a good boy. Yes, you were.
So now we've got Solomon. He is an older boy and we are doing some x-rays on his hooves and on his legs.
Just got done with Solomon and did see some things that didn't look quite normal with him, but Dr. Lydia is going to be reviewing all the x-rays and letting us know what she thinks of them. And then when she comes out of here again, we'll probably do further evaluations on those concerning areas. I'm guessing he was an old Amish plow horse or something. He's got a lot of wear and tear on his body. He has pretty significant scarring up here. This dips down pretty deep, especially on the other side. So we're gonna be x-raying through here. I'm guessing he wore a collar for a harness that maybe was not fitting properly, because he also has pressure points through here. The white marks here would be kind of like a, you see them typically back here on their withers, like a saddle sore, just pressure and the hair grows back in white. It's pretty easy to see that there's old scarring here from a bit that was pulling a lot. So he's had a rough life. One nice thing I will say is, like, for these horses that were intercepted from the auction, like, you know, we're paying $500 cash for them. A kill buyer would be bidding us up a lot higher than $500 on him, because he's a very big horse. Most of the horses that we were able to just pull off the trailer, put in our trailers, don't have the runny nose. They're not sick, which typically all auction horses are sick a week after the auction. So being able to spare them from getting sick and exposing them to all the sickness at the auction is a benefit to the buyout program as well. Oof, that does look pretty rough. So that is like right here. Okay. If like a lot of that was caused from a harness over years of work, how painful that would be to be plowing and pushing into a harness that's literally destroying your bones, and like, poor guy. Grayson has a significant amount of damage here in his withers, we could see from the outside, but the amount of bone damage to his withers is pretty significant. Hard to say exactly how this happened, but I would almost think that he was wearing one of those collars, like pulling plows and heavy work for a number of years, and it just destroyed his withers. Looking at Grayson's x-rays, I could see that he was really hurting, but he was being such a saint, I wasn't really concerned that he was going to do anything dramatic, because he was just being such a good boy. When I was getting ready to do his x-rays on his back leg, I bent down, he was totally fine, and without warning, the next thing I knew, I was 6 feet away. Ouch, that really hurt. Just got kicked. This leg already has a significant dent in it from getting kicked before. Yeah, I was at auction. I'm gonna get the horse's number. Whoop. Ouch. Okay, it kicks. I'm gonna have a good bruise on that one. Ow, yow, yow. It's not broken. I don't like being kicked. Nobody does. That is one thing for people that want to go out and rescue horses. You know, a horse didn't show any signs of kicking me. It's just trying to get a picture, but you know, they can come here because they've sent people to the hospital, and that's the dangerous part of our job. So I feel like I want to lay down for a little bit. It doesn't hurt as bad as when I was at the auction, but it still hurts. Okay, buddy, that's not nice. Ugh. I'd been kicked before and it was pretty bad, but this one didn't quite seem as bad. So I figured I'd just keep working and try to get as many of these horses intake and assessment done as possible. It hurt. It was very painful. On both his front, it looks like he has significant side bone. We'll be sending these x-rays to Dr. Lydia, but obviously he kicked me and he sent me flying, and I think thankful we're all okay. Just a little issue on my leg, but that's okay. When a horse has so many problems that is causing them pain, and you know, we're looking at euthanasia to end that suffering. Like, I could have gotten up and been like, how dare you, and jerked his head around and stuff, but we're not training him. We're just maybe taking our frustration out on him. He's been a saint of a horse until we got to an area where he's like, I'm just too painful for you to look at that. would probably be my guess of why he did that, because he hasn't shown that he's been trying to be mean to us this entire time we've been taking x-rays. This was years and years ago, a horse that was going to get euthanized, and it wasn't standing still, and it's like, stop it, quit it, you know, the person that has it. And I'm just like, what's the point? You're just causing more stress to the horse. Let's try to make their last days or moments as peaceful as possible. And horses can't say, hey, my back legs really hurt, I don't want you to pick them up. He can just tell us by sending me flying. But anyways, not fun. But, you know, with the amount of pain that he has endured and endured for years, it's not an excuse for him, but it tells us how he's feeling. Tori is catching the next horse, and I am taking a little bit of time to rest my poor leg. It hurts a lot where it was injured before, but I don't think there's anything broken. Like, I would be in way more pain. That's the nice thing, I guess you can say, if you get hurt a lot in horse accidents, which I have gotten hurt so many times, it's pathetically sad. Just a little breakdown of the injuries that have happened to this poor left leg. Now, my right leg is perfectly fine. It's great, but my left leg has had a lot of damage. So we've got this kick from a draft horse, which is pretty big. We have a little discoloration right here. That was from the previous kick. The horse was wearing these spikes on its shoes, and the spike punctured my skin and went pretty deep in there. And I think that's why that one hurt so much, because that shoe was the thing that made the most contact. So I have a dent in my leg from that. And so that one bruised all through here. So basically this is all kind of the same area, which if you're gonna get kicked by a horse, this is the best area to get kicked on, as long as you don't break anything. So I was riding a horse, and I was trying to teach her she loved to run and not stop. And I was trying to teach her we slow down and we can go faster and we slow down. Well, there was a mud puddle and she jumped to one side, and I ended up on the ground, and her back hoof came and sprung off my leg here and literally just like separated the muscle and did a ton of damage there. So my poor left leg has had a lot of horse damage to it. So I'm hoping that this is the last damage that's going to happen to this leg. I mean, 3 times is a charm, whatever it is. Whatever the saying is, it's happened 3 times. Moving on, nowhere else on my body, please. All right, you got the next horse up, and what's his name?
Rusty.
Rusty. So, oh man. Okay, I think I'm gonna have Troy, I think I will hold the horse, and Troy can wear this and maneuver around, because after sitting for a little bit, I think bending, and I think the leg just needs to kind of stay in this position, so. We've seen a lot of kissing spine here at the organization with different horses we've rescued. This poor horse, like his withers are here, and you can just see that, you know, these are not normal. And as we go back, they're just still all scrunched in together. And if you can just imagine bone on bone rubbing, and he's not very old, and to already have this much looking problems, it's not a good thing. But Dr. Lydia will be looking over all these x-rays and figuring out what's best. But we're taking x-rays, we're figuring out what's going on with these horses and documenting their condition. And that's extremely important to me, to make sure that we're making these decisions from an educated medical position. Sometimes it's so obvious that you know, but then others, it's like they can be silently suffering, and only x-rays are going to be the only way for their voice to be heard about their suffering. Well, we're going to wrap it up and call it a day up here. We got 7 critters all x-rayed up, and there's like a 40-page report I'm going to send to Dr. Lydia. And we're all good, except my leg. But we'll continue x-raying and getting them all done another day. Got to a point where I just didn't even want to stand anymore. I just wanted to sit in the chair and have my foot up. I knew it was probably going to be very colorful under my pants. They were going out to try to get a donkey, and they were having a hard time catching the donkey, and I'm like, you know what? Let's not worry about the donkey. We'll do him another day. So I was very happy to wrap up the intake process. I didn't have to be still on my leg and up there working, because pain is not something very comfortable at all that you want to deal with. I'm gonna go home and work the rest of the day from home because my leg is killing me, and there's nothing more I can do here to be helpful. So I'm heading home.
Weren't you guys there when Tawnee was kicked?
Yes, we were up in quarantine when Tawnee was kicked.
It happened really quickly. So Tawnee had decided for me and her to reverse what we were doing with the x-ray machine. And so instead of me holding the board, she wanted me to try taking the pictures for the x-rays. So we were on our way over to do Grayson's back left leg. And I had crouched down with the machine, and she was getting ready to place the board behind his hoof. And just like a split second later, he raises his foot up real quick and kicks her. He grazed the side of my arm in the process. Thankfully, neither the board nor the machine got broken, and Tawnee's leg is okay. I mean, it doesn't look very pretty, but it could have gone a lot worse.
I guess Grayson gave us no warning. He was like super chill with all the other x-rays. Like, he didn't move, he wasn't...
He didn't show any signs that he was uncomfortable. It was just, okay, I don't want you back here.
Yeah, it was just out of the blue, he just randomly kicked. And like, I was holding the screen of the x-ray machine for Tawnee to see. And suddenly, like, I guess I blinked, and like Tawnee was at the horse at one point, and then she flew into my legs at another point, and I was like, oh, hi, Tawnee.
I was like, okay.
And she was on the ground.
Yeah.
So I feel very bad for her.
When I woke up this morning, my leg was so incredibly stiff. I decided to go ahead and go to the urgent care. Probably should have done it yesterday, but I'm way more apt to take an animal to a vet quicker than myself to a doctor. So I should get it checked out. And if it was one of my employees, I would definitely want them to go get it checked out and get x-rays in the works. So I am headed to a walk-in clinic. They've decided to take x-rays, which I think is a good thing. I don't think anything's broken, but it'll just be nice to know for certain. As I'm laying there and they're taking x-rays, they keep having me move to different positions, and I can't help but sit there wondering, being like, when I'm taking x-rays of a horse and I see something wrong, I keep getting different angles. I sure hope that's not what they're doing right now. All right, everything is fine. Just a huge bruise. I think it's 17 centimeters at the largest section. By 15 by 10 is the measurement she took down. This is just to rest the poor little leg, and hopefully it will be better soon, but nothing's broken. And I kind of knew that because I've been kicked worse, and that one was really bad and it wasn't broken then either. So I am very grateful it wasn't worse. I just have to let it rest, and it is over the weekend. So yeah, I'll be able to rest it a lot over the weekend. Just swung by the post office to grab the packages after I had my leg checked out, and one of the things I've got in the mail says, take a break, you deserve it. So I'm gonna go home and take a break. I've had a lot of rest over the weekend. I'm finally able to get heat on my leg, and I've gone through like 12 pounds of Epsom salts, and my leg is very, very colorful. It's very tight and swollen, and I've decided that I'm gonna take my work to bed with me and just do some work from bed. Since the auction kicked us out, I have so much restructuring on the fundraising to do. I definitely can't be out there running around with the horses. And when I was at my doctor's appointment, she said, make sure nothing else happens to this area. You don't want to get it hurt again. And this poor leg, my left leg, has gotten 3 traumatic injuries from horses in the last several years. So I'm gonna take my work and my laptop and do a lot of work from bed. So got to rest this leg so I get better. And horses can be very dangerous. They can act like everything's fine, and the next thing you know, you're 6 feet away and you're like, what just happened? It is kind of what happens when we rescue horses from all these different situations. We have no idea what their histories are. We don't have somebody saying, hey, this horse kicks or anything. And a lot of horses that go to auctions and enter the slaughter pipeline, they're there because there could be a behavioral reason that made them dangerous. There's a medical problem that's causing a lot of pain, and we don't know those issues. So as rescuers, we have to kind of just dive in, work on these horses, and sometimes they tell us, and sometimes it's pretty dramatic, like a kick to the leg.